got a suit.
Would you take your?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Since when do you talk about blessings? And why would I need one anyway? A very short story might illustrate. There was a man approaching retirement age, and his portfolio included $1 million. I guess that's cheap these days, isn't it? Some of us, some of them, not us, them. So he decided to purchase a Maserati with all the options. And he wants to care for it in every possible way. So he goes to a priest and he says, "Father, will you say a blessing over my Maserati?" The priest says, "I'm sorry, I don't understand. What's a Maserati?" So the guy goes on to a rabbi, does the same thing. "Rabbi, will you say a blessing over my Maserati?" Same answer. "I'm sorry, what's a Maserati?" Somewhat desperate now, he goes to a Unitarian Universalist minister and he asks if he will say a blessing over his Maserati. "I'm sorry, I don't understand. What's a blessing?" If Unitarian Universalists are not known for offering blessings in the past, that's changing these days. There are many UU congregations who are doing animal blessings, and I heard before that you've done them here before. People seem to love them. But we have to ask ourselves why we do them. We aren't known as a tradition where most of us believe in a supernatural force that blesses, or where clergy with such divine powers confer blessings. Nor do we feel that there is a need to bless a soul for eternal salvation. Salvation, that's another sermon. Are we doing animal blessings because of superstition or bad theology or cheap methods to arrive at a superficial, warm, fuzzy feeling without contributing to the overall improvement of the human condition? And in the case of non-human animals, without contributing to all of life? This is an important concern. We worship, we come here to worship because we wish to understand how to value life and how to improve it for ourselves and for others. And we do that in community. Do animal blessings do this? I believe that they do, and that there is a deep religious and spiritual understanding to blessings that goes beyond the use of "bless you" or "well, bless your heart," which I learned since I came to Florida. but both as popular culture and a saying of goodwill. Now take the example of saying a blessing before a meal. If I asked you how many do that, would you be afraid to raise your hand? I'm not going to ask you. The Talmud teaches that a Jew should say 100 blessings a day, many of which are before a meal. The standard formula for these blessings is, blessed are you, Yahweh. God. No, Yahweh, God. Our God, source of life, who creates the food before us. It acknowledges that our food comes from God, or that God, the divine, or a connection to the whole, is in our food. And isn't food something we need to be paying attention to these days, especially since the whole world has gotten totally crazy? Our food is therefore sacred, pointing us to a higher level of awareness. And a blessing reminds us in a daily fashion that we can release ourselves from our mundane, self-centered isolationism and go beyond our narrow self-awareness to a spirituality that reminds us with each meal that we are connected to the whole. A food blessing also reminds us that many beings are responsible for our food. The lives of plants and animals, and the hard labor of humans. Buddhists say the same thing in a somewhat different fashion, such as this blessing from Thich Nhat Hanh. This food is the gift of the whole universe, the earth, the sky, and much hard work. May we live in a way that is worthy of this food. The depth of this blessing is mirrored in the Christian tradition. The Christian tradition, not the white Christian nationalist, traditional Christianity. Mirror this, let me do that again. The depth of this blessing is mirrored in the Christian tradition of blessing as defined by one person, Dr. Elmer Towns. Can't tell you anything about him. I don't know anything about him, except that he says, blessing means making things better, improving your life and services, and does not mean divine intervention. He continues by saying that when we bless others, we add value to others. We give them strength. We promise commitment to others. We purify our emotions. We solidify our relations. And we increase our potential to minister to others in the world. By being of greater service to others, we are able to bless their lives and our lives with the riches of the community, connection, belonging, and purpose, and healing. We are blessed to be a blessing. We also need to include ourselves in asking for blessings to flow into our life. For by saying blessings for ourselves, we recall that we have a responsibility for our own happiness, and that what is good for us is good for others. An even deeper meaning of blessings is the idea that blessings are a challenge. In that old book of Genesis, Jacob thought to trick his father Isaac into blessing him by posing as his older brother. His father was blind, so he thought he could pose as his older brother Esau. He was successful, but next day he had to flee because Esau was coming after him with an army. Jacob sought to earn blessings the easy way, but only by having a true encounter with God, which wounded him, is he able to receive blessings. The notion that wounding leads to blessings is not unreasonable, given our own experiences of growth after a difficult time. Also interesting is the mixed up etymology of the word. Oh, I know, it can get boring at times. Or in French, the word for blessing, blesser, means to wound. A blessing is a wrestling, wounding, deepening, learning event. Not a blessing to keep us closer held to the status quo, but a blessing to bring us into a deeper understanding of the meaning and the hope of life. Many blessings do not come cheap, nor are they conferred cheaply. But when they arrive, they allow us to continue in the struggle of life. For blessings are something that brings us a loving and creative spirit of life that lets us know that we are not alone and that there is strength abounding in us and in all life. Each of us names our own meanings and way of blessing and being blessed. For we each have different experiences and different gifts. This is a blessing for our Unitarian Universalist tradition, that we can use the resources and experiences of all life and faith traditions to support our principles and values, which in their very essence are a blessing. All beings have worth, and we are connected to everything. Perhaps a UU blessing would go like this. May my understanding of the worth and interdependence of all life comfort me and keep all beings from harm. In blessing, we are blessed and therefore are healed as we offer healing to all of God's creatures.
Just a second, let me introduce this song and then you'll come right back with your closing.